In 1299, a small tribal chief seized a dying corner of the Byzantine world. 624 years later, his empire vanished. What happened in between will absolutely blow your mind. This isn't just a history video. It's the full, outrageous, blood-soaked, brilliant story of one of the world's most powerful empires, from nothing to everything, then back to dust. We'll journey through every major turning point, every rise, every mistake, and the shocking collapse you never saw coming. It begins not with a king or even a city, but with a man. Just a man, walking through a fragile world. Osman I, a tribal chief in a forgotten corner of Anatolia. The year 1299. His tribe was small, his land insignificant. The Byzantine Empire, the old Eastern Roman kingdom, was broken, fractured, dreaming of past glories. But Osman, he didn't dream of survival. He dreamed of conquest. From 1299 to 1326, Osman led Ghazi warriors, Islamic fighters on the frontier. Their raids weren't random. They were calculated, strategic. Osman married smart, allied smarter, and inched his way toward dominance. By 1302, Osman's forces defeated a Byzantine army at the Battle of Baphius, a sign that maybe, just maybe, the old empire wasn't invincible after all. But when Osman died in 1326, one thing became clear. This was not just a chief. This was the founder of an empire. His son Orhan stepped in, calm, methodical, powerful. He took Bursa, a major trade city, and made it the Ottoman capital. This wasn't just war anymore. It was governance, currency, law. The Ottoman tribe had become an Ottoman state. And by 1362, Murad I came to power. Under him, a chilling military invention emerged: the Janissaries. Young Christian boys taken as tribute, converted and trained from childhood to be elite soldiers. Unrivaled in loyalty, unmatched in brutality. By 1389, at the Battle of Kosovo, the Ottomans crushed the Serbians. Murad died, but his legacy lived on. Do you feel it? The ground shifting beneath Europe's feet? Because in just 90 years, the Ottomans went from nomads to empire builders. But with every rise comes a fall. In 1402, something happened that nearly wiped the Ottomans off the map. A storm named Timur came from the east. A brutal Mongol warlord with an unstoppable army. At the Battle of Ankara, the Ottomans were crushed. Sultan Bayezid I was taken captive in a golden cage. The empire fractured. His sons plunged into a civil war. This could have been the end. But it wasn't. Because one son came out on top, Mehmed I. And under him, the spark reignited. But what came next would change the course of history. In 1432, a baby was born. They called him Mehmed, later known as Mehmed the Conqueror. In 1451, he took the throne. But in 1453, he took something far more valuable: Constantinople, the last great stronghold of the Roman Empire. Mehmed used massive cannons, a cutting-edge European invention, to shatter the ancient walls. It wasn't just a siege. It was psychological warfare. He slaughtered, converted, dominated. By the end of that year, the crown jewel of Christian Byzantium was under Muslim rule. The world gasped. The Ottomans were standing at the center of the world, literally between Europe and Asia. Most people think the fall of Rome happened in 476 AD. No. This was the final breath of Rome. 1453. And the Ottoman Empire? It had just begun. From Mehmed to Sultan Selim I, then to Suleiman the Magnificent, the Ottomans climbed higher than ever before. Between 1517 and 1566, they conquered Egypt, the Levant, the Arabian Peninsula, much of Central Europe. They took Mecca, they took Jerusalem, they even reached Vienna. Suleiman ruled with brilliance, big brain energy. He reformed the legal code, strengthened trade, and forced religious tolerance. He was called the lawgiver even by Europeans. But something was happening beneath the glory. The cracks were forming, even as the marble sparkled. The Janissaries began gaining political power. Corruption crept into the royal court. Succession? A bloodbath. After Suleiman died, it didn't all collapse. Not yet. But the Golden Age was over. Between 1574 and 1700, naval supremacy slipped after the Battle of Lepanto. The Janissaries became more of a mafia than an elite unit. Palace politics took over governance. Technology, science, and education lagged behind Europe. But then came 1683, and Vienna again. This time, Europe fought back hard, and one cavalry charge from Poland ended the siege. The Ottomans never seriously threatened Europe again, but the empire didn't die. It just started fading, year by year, land by land. Here's the part most textbooks skip. It wasn't one huge collapse. It was slow, painful, inevitable. The same engine that built the empire wouldn't adapt. And when you stop adapting in history, your days are numbered. Fast forward to the 19th century. The empire looked impressive on paper. Huge borders, glorious palaces, majestic ceremonies. But inside, they were the sick man of Europe. Western nations stole trade routes. Russia attacked repeatedly. Debt piled up. Bankers from France and Britain ran the economy. And inside the empire, nationalist uprisings. Christians, Arabs, Kurds, Greeks. The once mighty sultans, sleepwalking through history. Then came the storm that no empire survived, World War I. In 1914, the Ottomans chose Germany, and they lost. By 1918, Allied powers carved the empire apart. Iraq to Britain, Syria to France, Palestine, Lebanon, Arabia, even Anatolia under threat. But out of the ashes rose one last fire. His name? Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. A soldier, a force. He rejected the sultans, formed a resistance, and declared, "We are not Ottoman, we are Turkish." In 1923, he established the Republic of Turkey. That same year, the Ottoman Empire officially, finally, ceased to exist. So what does this all mean now? It's a story about power, the kind that grows slower than you think and collapses faster than you expect. The Ottomans were unbeatable until they weren't. They were enlightened until they closed the door. They were unified until they were divided. What started with one man and one dream became a 624-year superpower. But no empire, no matter how mighty, survives without reform, without listening, without changing. What's rising today in your lifetime? And more importantly, what might be secretly collapsing right before your eyes? Which Ottoman ruler do you think changed everything? Comment below, and don't miss our next deep dive, Rome's last emperor.